Hey, Browns fans, for you guys watching the video here of this episode, just know that this is all you're going to see because I'm the world's biggest dumbass and I forgot to hit record. I forgot to hit record when we did the podcast. So you can watch the rest of the video. It will be just audio without our smiling faces talking to you because, again, dumbass, forgot to hit record. And so enjoy the show. It was a fun one. We had a great time doing it. I effed it up, but hey, you know what? It happens. So enjoy the show, and I will try not to do that again.
Welcome to the Dawgs podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs podcast presented by Manly Bands, Josh All, Justin Charles, and we are joined by recent birthday boy, Kenny Mack from the Great White North. Kenny, happy birthday, man.
Thanks, buddy. I mean, turning 50, I feel like it's the new 30, so feeling pretty good. I went sleeveless today in honor of Pat McAfee for my 50th birthday, so I'll just keep that rolling for this episode. Got my nice little London, England hat here because my present to myself is heading to that Vikings game in the UK, so I'm stoked.
Kenny,
you look good.
I say he's 50, but he's in better shape than any of us on the show.
Or not.
And I just, man, if I could be in the shape you are when I'm 50, that would be awesome. But for anybody who doesn't know, Kenny Mack is the president of the Ottawa Browns Backers. He's also the vice president of the Browns Backers Worldwide Leadership Council. I got all that right, didn't I?
I'm actually, so I changed it. I'm the chair of it. So
you're okay.
So I would say, yeah, so it's like being a president, but I change it because I don't preside over the presidents. If you're on a council, usually you chair it. So I'm chairing it this year, and that's the President's Leadership Council for Browns Backers Worldwide. And I'll have a dummy year next year, and then I'm out concentrating on my chapter again. But we had a heck of a weekend. All the chapter presidents were invited 2 weekends ago up to Cleveland. We partied, we talked to each other. Going to have a great year with our chapters, regardless of what the Browns are going to do, but we're going to get into that right now.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about this stuff. So we've got big news that we'll kick off the show with here in a minute about Quinshon Judkins. So we're going to dive into all that, and then we're going to break down what happened in the joint practices with the Browns and Eagles here the last couple of days while giving you our preview and expectations for the game coming up on Saturday. And it's going to be a fun ride. We got a lot of stuff to get into. So before we dive into it, I just want to remind everybody, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, tap the notification bell, follow us on all the social medias at the Dawgs podcast. And make sure you guys go to jointhedawgs.com and sign up for fantasy football. You got until next Friday, so a little over a week, and that is the cutoff. So get in. Our leagues are filling up. Kenny, you got a second league. There's only a couple spots left in that one, and we got a few spots.
I'm going to put it out on my social, but come and hang with me. I put it out today, like, hey, guys, get what your thoughts are of the game, because I want to get it out to see what you guys think so I can talk about it today.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to play fantasy football with us, if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. Do not wait. Cutoff is coming real quick. Leagues are almost full, but if you get in now, you will be in a league. So hurry up, do that. Jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on our Patreon. All right, so right before we came on here to do this episode, talk about the Eagles game and all this stuff from the week, we got big old breaking news. Quinshon Judkins will not face any formal charges for the arrest last month for domestic violence allegations. Big deal for the Browns, guys. Now there's still, obviously, the NFL can do their own investigation. He could still be suspended or whatever for, damaging the image of the badge, the shield for the NFL, the personal, conduct policy, all that stuff. But this means he should be able to get under contract with the Browns, and he should be on the field at some point this year. And he was going to lead the rushing attack. So let's talk about this, Justin. What are you thinking about Quinshon Judkins here?
Big deal for the Browns, man. Big deal for Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
Just from what I've gotten to read about it, as far as what they've said, not any video. They couldn't, corroborate, bruises and stuff like that in the videos.
Yeah.
But as far as it goes for football, this is a chance for him to get with the Browns, get under contract. Obviously, it's not going to be the same contract that he was expecting. This is his opportunity with the team. He's going to be a huge part of this offense, I believe, once he is, incorporated into everything. As far as like it goes for him, I still think he's going to get suspended. I don't think that, you can have something like this happen and, like you said, it damages the shield. They make an example of it. I don't think it is as severe as I thought it would be. I was thinking like 5 games. I think we're you got to just maybe start at 2 to 3. And, and obviously we'll see what happens, but it's not a shoo-in that there's no suspension. I still think the suspension's coming.
So just to go on what you just said there, to start that, I'm going to read this for everybody. The decline memorandum by the state attorney's office. This is from Daniel Ofusi on X. He posted this and it says, quote, "This incident was not captured on any video surveillance. There are no independent witnesses to the incident. Although the victim had photos showing injuries sustained, there were also videos in that same time frame where no injuries were observed to the victim. Additionally, the victim's injuries depicted in the photos could be explained by either account of the incident, meaning his or hers. Finally, there was a delayed report of the incident. The delay is problematic as the victim was alone on numerous occasions without the defendant, had the ability and resources to make the report without his knowledge, but chose not to do so. For the reasons set forth, there is no reasonable likelihood of conviction in this case is being declined." So there you go.
Yeah, you basically hit the nail on the head with everything there. So, as far as legally, the case is closed with no charges. The NFL, like we said, they can still investigate, but it removes a major legal barrier for Judkins so he can return to the Browns and sign a contract. So he's got to get familiar with the playbook. He's got to get conditioned and he's got to start getting into camp. So he's got to build his image. He's rebuild his image. And that's super important because there's mixed reviews. There's some fans that are relieved and said, "Oh, this is just another case of he said, she said." So they were dropped, while others are still super concerned about previous signings from the Browns. So I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. I think it's a bad look, but the young man deserves a chance. So if he can put his life together, put this ahead of him, and it works out for both parties, let's see what he can do.
Yeah, for me, this is not the same as last year with Mike Hall, because with the Mike Hall incident, and I'm pulling a lot of this from memory, I didn't re-look this stuff up, so if I'm wrong about this stuff, correct me, but there were witnesses. Her mom was there, I believe, right? And somebody else even, I think, and people saw things happen. So it was a different situation where in this one, this is a complete he said, she said. There is nothing supporting what she claimed happened based on what they're saying. There's no video. There's no witnesses. There's all these just very sketchy details that could have been maybe faked or whatever is basically what I'm pulling from this. So I do think, like Justin said, this suspension, if there is one, should not be anything. Mike Hall was 5 games, I believe. Yep. Yeah, like you said, Justin, maybe 2, 3 at the max. But then you come back to based on the legality of this, for what? So, and it kind of gets into that gray area of, well, if people come out and they just make allegations against the person, whether they're true or not, whether there's charges or no charges, are we just going to suspend everybody that has allegations against them?
Yeah. So, and that's the biggest thing. So you kind of mentioned all the reasons why it was dropped. The final determination, it basically rests with the NFL's disciplinary officer, whoever that is right now. But basically, while he's not exempt from discipline because the charges were dropped, the league can still impose a suspension, but it has to be based on supportive evidence. And if you go through what you just said, there's not a lot of supporting evidence.
Right.
And while 4 games or 5 games was the standard with Mike Hall, his evidence based on witnesses and some footage was much more damning.
Okay. Well, I think that's what, something to look forward to here going, as things proceed. Will he be suspended? Will he not? We'll see. But at least we know out off the field, in the courtroom, that stuff is over. We're done. We don't have to worry about it. He's going to be signing with the Browns, finally, get him under contract, going to be on the field at some point. And at the very least here, we can get him back into camp now get him. Hopefully, maybe he can play in the preseason game next week at home against the Rams. That would be great. Get some live reps and all that stuff. We need this guy. Our running game, our offense with the weak wide receiver room. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Who knows who's playing quarterback, who's going to be healthy. We'll talk about that too. We need the running game.
Yeah, 100%. With Stefanski's offense, we need that. We need that big time.
Yeah. So all in all, good news for the Browns on that front. And then I saw this come out. Adam Schefter posted this. This is worth mentioning because it's kind of in the same realm as this, legal thing with Judkins. Isaiah Bond, the UDFA, he was not drafted, wide receiver from Texas. The sexual assault case against former Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond has been no-billed, and he faces no further criminal charges. And that's what his agent released that. And Schefter posted it. The Browns need help at wide receiver. We're going to talk about that after some stuff out of these joint practices. Now, take the sexual assault allegations off the table, of course. I liked Isaiah Bond in the pre-draft process. I thought this was a prospect. The Browns brought him in for a visit, if I remember correctly. I mean, he's interesting to me because he's got some skills. He's definitely a skilled player.
I mean, he was a projected first-round pick. Absolutely. There was no doubt about it. For me, if we're going to talk about this, I'm good, man. Like, I want the smartness. I don't want him, bro. I don't want the noise. I don't want all the smoke that came with, other players that have been involved in this kind of thing. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want it. To me, it's just more stuff that doesn't involve football that we have to talk about. And I just hate that part of it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, it's his elite speed, his separation, his after the catchability, like that. All, man, I want a receiver like that. But I'm like, after what I just had to say, like, I don't want to be a legal analyst. I don't want to have to break this down through ChatGPT so I can understand this and give this to you guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. So while I do like and I'm tempted by his talent, I'm just kind of like, do we need another distraction like this? Another thing to talk about that's like you can just throw on the Browns as like, oh, there's some more convicts to the jail cell of the Browns, like.
Just remember, though, what matters is what they do on the field after they get here, because Deshaun Watson sucked on the field, and then all the dark cloud was all anybody could really focus on because he sucked. But then you get a guy like Kareem Hunt who came here and was awesome, and that dark cloud, everybody kind of forgot about it. So I do think, I'm just being real with fans out there. Like,
that's 100% true. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's printing up his gold jacket, just like Justin said earlier, and everybody's forget about what he did. And I mean, it's pretty heinous. So
yeah, and some of like Kareem Hunt was on video. I mean, the thing with Isaiah Bond, doesn't look like there was any evidence or stuff there. So it's just, I know these situations suck, and I'm tired of talking about them, but it is what it is.
He would be a huge upgrade at wide receiver room. A major. He would walk in and he could probably be the second best receiver on our team, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. Wholeheartedly.
Fortunately, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'm very cool.
He's had enough.
Give me Deontay Johnson. Give me.
We're going to talk about Deontay Johnson here in a minute, and we'll figure out if we still feel the same. Give me Deontay Johnson love here, but. This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Browns fans, it is time to upgrade your ring game. Head over to manlybands.com/dogs and check out everything Manly Bands has to offer. Some of the coolest bands materials that you're going to find. I love going through and looking at everything in their Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel collection. I mean, you can get a wedding ring made from a Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel. That's awesome. They've got the Lord of the Rings collection. They've got DC Comics, and they've also got the other materials too. Gold, white gold, that kind of stuff. They've got meteorite. They've got dinosaur bone. They've got all kinds of stuff. And they have a ton of other gifts as well. They've got barware. They've got chains. They've got wristwatch. They've got all kinds of stuff. Anything you need if you're looking for manly rings and manly things, head to manlybands.com/dogs and make sure to use promo code CAMP25, CAMP25, to get an extra $25 off your order. That's manlybands.com/dogs, promo code CAMP25. This episode is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Browns fans, do you ever feel stuck in your current job? Like if you just had a different degree or some more education in a certain area, you could do something you really want to do. Well, Southern New Hampshire University has the answers for you. Head over to snhu.edu/bark to learn how you can get started on your new career today. SNHU is one of the largest online accredited universities in the United States, and it's radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. So seriously, what are you waiting for? Head over to snhu.edu/bark to learn how you can get started on your degree for your new career, 100% online and 100% on your time. snhu.edu/bark. We'll move into just kind of some recap of these joint practices the last couple of days. The Browns were in Philly going against the Eagles. I did a quick episode yesterday talking about the first day, and by all accounts yesterday, bad for the Browns offense, but also bad for the Eagles offense. The Browns defensive line has been dominant, and that narrative came again today in day two. The Browns defensive line is just insane. There was a Jimmy Kempski from the Philly Voice. So this is a Eagles beat writer posting on X, and he said Myles Garrett is sacking Jalen Hurts on almost every play. Myles just pulls up and lets the Eagles finish the rep. It's almost comical. Like, that is great news. Yesterday, there was reports that Mason Graham was having, he had like 1 or 2 sacks. Carson Schlesinger had a sack. Ashley Babstock from Cleveland.com has just been nonstop posting about how relentless this D-line is. So that is good.
Yeah. I heard some of our back end of the rosters doing all right too. Like I'm hearing Cameron Thomas is doing okay. And then Julian Okwara is doing really well as well. So, I mean, that's really good because, I mean, ultimately we did get a 5th or a 3rd last year for one of our defensive tackles. And if we can parlay that into some more capital for next year, even better. Because there's no way these guys are staying on here, right?
I will say this about the joint practice. We're not talking about just some average offensive line. We're talking about probably one of the best, if not, I'll say it, the best offensive line in the league. It can be a narrative for a little bit, but when you talk about it every day and when it becomes a theme every day that the defensive line is just absolutely eating, whether it's Cleveland, whether it's Carolina, whether it's Philly, we're talking about all types of different personnel now that are getting absolutely slaughtered out there by this line. The defense is absolutely for real. Anything, like when we went up to camp, did it look intense? Absolutely. It looked like they were going to be feasting all year. It sounds like that's what it's going to be.
We saw that.
What does he call that? What does he call his defense again? Badassery? Badassery was in full effect with everybody on that team. And I like what Josh pointed out. It's the Eagles pundits, it's the Browns pundits, it's the national pundits. Everybody's noticing it.
Yes. Yeah. And we're talking about the line. The secondary is shutting. Then they said Denzel Ward shut down Devontae Smith today, like he wasn't even at practice. That's what Nathan Zagura, I believe, said that. It was somebody on Cleveland Browns Daily, but they said he pretty much wasn't even out there because Ward just blanketed him.
Yeah, he's running his routes for him.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very encouraging from the defensive side for the Browns the last couple of days. And like Justin pointed out, and I'm glad you said that, this is the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense beat the living crap out of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. We all watched how that happened, and yet our quarterbacks are out here. Now, did they have great, fantastic practices? And we'll talk about the quarterbacks a little bit later. No, but at the same time, we threw 0 interceptions to their great defense the last 2 days, while Jalen Hurts had multiple picks thrown to our secondary.
If you want a metric test on how things are going as far as camp and stuff like that, and you need a team to roll in or you roll to a team, is there not a better roster on paper? And then on top of that, they've got hardware now. They've got a Super Bowl ring. It's not just, they're a great roster on paper, but they can't close the big game. They took care of business. They're the reigning champs right now. So this is, at every position, they're pretty much elite. So if you're a guy that's battling to get in, You're going against crazy competition on the daily. The fact that for what our expectations were heading into this year, and we're down on this team a little bit, maybe we need to just take a deep breath and step back for a second. Maybe this defense isn't going to get worn out like we thought.
And I want to point out, too, that the Browns defense is doing this against the reigning Super Bowl offense. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, like Justin said, Dallas Goedert, who I heard Dallas Goedert was having his way with us yesterday. But, this is a great offense, best offensive line and all that stuff. We don't have Martin Emerson or Greg Newsome on the field.
Yeah.
Well, our cornerback 2 and 3 are both gone right now. And now Newsome's just sidelined with a shoulder thing. They're just keeping him out while he rehabs and gets better. But, Emerson's out. He's gone for the year. It's just Denzel out there. And then it's like Cam Mitchell and Miles Harden and some of these other guys. And we're doing this. Like, we are imposing our will upon this team. And that's encouraging to me.
It's super encouraging because there's buy-in. And last year when we were looking around and they were going through scrimmages preseason, there was no buy-in, there was no physicality. But when you see, even like last week, and I'll get into it in a bit, but when you see the bottom end of the roster understand and know what they're doing and also have force with what they're doing, that's a good sign that the veterans are bought in because someone's leading them other than the coaches.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point, or a good place to kind of segue into this quarterback stuff too. The buy-in, Kenny, you're so right. Like this team is bought in, especially the defense is ferocious and they're energized. You have got to name Joe Flacco the week 1 starter, right? There's no other option in my eye. Like, he's the only one that gives you, the opportunity to at least compete with other NFL teams right out the gate, especially a team like the Bengals that are going to have a high-flying offense.
Yeah, he's clearly looked like the best quarterback from the time I went to training camp to all the videos we've seen. He has the strongest arm, the best grasp of the offense. The thing that sold it to me the most, and if you're viewing this pod for the first time, go back, watch Blake, watch Josh talk to Joe Thomas. The way that Joe Thomas spoke about Joe Flacco and the way that the veterans respected him that's the buy-in. Once the veterans are bought in, then everybody else on the team's bought in. If it doesn't work out, everybody, including the veterans, will understand if they move to somebody else. But I think that is the way to go, just to keep the team in the right direction for the gauntlet that's going to start that is this season.
No, you're 100% correct, man. Not only are they bought in, there's chemistry there and they believe. They've watched it happen already. They've lived it. This is a guy 2 years ago that led them there. And I 100% am bought in with you. If you're going to go through a gauntlet at the beginning, which the schedule on paper sure as hell looks like a gauntlet, at least for 6 weeks, is there not a guy that you would trust more in this situation, at least right now? Yeah. I know Browns fans are bought in. Browns fans, that's the guy. You know what I mean? You might hear, the local media say, Kenny Pickett, I'm cool. I'm good. Give me Flacco. Give me at least a guy that has a grasp of the offense, understands what he's doing, can make the throws, and can lead this offense. We've seen it before.
Yeah, and this is why I think that Shedeur Sanders needs to be the QB2, because we're talking about the buy-in, especially from the veterans. Like Kenny said, if you lose the veteran buy-in, the hell everybody else is going to do. It's over. Yeah, that's it. You might as well just pack it in and, play DTR the rest of the way, because
start over. Yeah,
start over. Like you already have seen that the team has bought into Shedeur. The veterans like him, and he pals around with Myles Garrett on the sideline. I don't see anybody out, like Kenny Pickett's not over there palling around with Myles Garrett. Shedeur has their respect. I think they know the kid can play, and I think if it were to go from Joe Flacco, you got your buy-in. Like Kenny said, things don't work out. They understand. You can't move to, in my opinion, Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett if he's still on this roster. They've proven nothing. They're hurt. Now, obviously, Shedeur's hurt too, which we'll talk about, but I just think those two give your team the best chance to stay focused for the season.
Well, yeah. If we're going to talk about the quarterbacks, and especially like leading into this preseason game, this second preseason game, I think Dylan Gabriel kind of has to start.
Oh,
I think we're at that point where he has to go out there and at least answer somebody. You know what I mean? Whether it's, can the kid play, or is it going to be a continuance of what we've seen in training camp? He's in a spot, though, with his contract and also where he was drafted at, as far as the Browns were. I don't see, they're not going to move off of him regardless. Now, Kenny Pickett's still hurt. He's still hurt. At what point are we going, what are we keeping this guy around for? Well, what is he bringing to the table at this point? Because you can't, let's say he comes back next week. Are you going to put him at QB2? To me, this makes no sense. We get clowned for having 4 quarterbacks. I think you have a decision to make at this point where one's easy to make. You know, obviously Huntley's going to move forward after everybody's healthy, or we get to a point where we're good. But like, to me, Kenny Pickett can't get on the field. So what's the point? What's the upside?
Dude, I have no idea.
Veteran, dependable leadership. Like, it's not dependable. You know, he's not healthy. He's not bringing anything to the table as far as like.
No.
I would rather have Richard Huntley, to be honest with you. Like, he balled out last year. He was the only quarterback to put 30 points up in the preseason or helped to put that up. He easily looked like the best to me. He looks like Richard Huntley looks to me like what they want to get out of Kenny Pickett. Like somebody who's athletic, somebody that can complete a pass and set up the running game. And like Pickett can't get out there because he's got a 2nd-degree hamstring pull or tear. And like that takes 4 to 8 weeks, doesn't it? Like, I don't think he's going to play at all this preseason. So what do you do?
Well, Josh has been saying for a couple weeks. I couldn't tell you exactly, but like, he's been basically saying, hey, maybe the hamstring's a little bit more serious. It's either you or Blake.
We both have, and Joe Thomas said it on the broadcast on Friday night. Yeah.
Right. So, like, I guess that's where I'm at. Like, what are we doing? Are we just letting him get healthy? Because the trade value is probably not there right now. The dude can't play.
You know what we're going to do is we're going to sign another quarterback.
So this is what's hilarious too. In the offseason here, the Browns used 4 draft picks to acquire quarterbacks. And it's the 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who they signed late, who's the only one who's been healthy through camp. We can't even make it through camp with healthy quarterbacks. We're already digging into Tyler Huntley. And if Dylan Gabriel can't go Saturday, we'll have to sign somebody else because we can't just roll one quarterback out there. It'll be like Tyler Huntley and some kid that got undrafted from, some other college no one's heard about. It's going to be bad.
And they need a Jarvis Landry type guy in there to do his Jarvis Landry speech from Hard Knocks and said, there's weakness in here. We don't need no weakness no more. Just get out there and play. And they need something because these guys, the Browns and their soft tissue injuries, I have no idea what's going on there, man. Well, and it's super frustrating.
So, and obviously the big news yesterday, Shedeur Sanders, it hurt his oblique throwing in warm-ups or something. So he didn't practice at all the last 2 days. He's last I saw, maybe there's been an update since we started doing the show, but Kevin Stefanski said he's day-to-day, but unlikely to play on Saturday, which blows. I mean, he put on a hell of a show Friday night. I wanted to watch him again. But like Justin said, though, Dylan Gabriel needs to start this game. I hope his hamstring, and he's a guy who's been hurt and missed time now. They all have. But I need to see Dylan Gabriel because the Browns, through their actions, have told us that Dylan Gabriel is better than Shedeur Sanders, and that he is deserving of first-team opportunities, and that he is in the running to be a starter in the NFL at some point. And everything we've heard from camp has refuted that. But the Browns keep showing us with their actions that is what they think. So I need to see it now on the field. Like, show me what you guys are so in love with. And I don't hate Dylan Gabriel. This is not bashing Dylan. It's just, we did this last year with Deshaun Watson. Zach Jackson, right, was at camp saying, hey, this guy looks like ass. Like, this offense is terrible. He looks horrible. And, the Browns, through their actions and everything they post online, they're like, no, it's going to be great. High-flying offense, juicy. It's going to be all this stuff. And then we got on the field in September and was like, yeah, he sucks. This offense sucks. So what I'm hearing from camp is that Dylan Gabriel is not good and that he does not run the offense well. I need to see in a game how this looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to see that. And I mean, we've heard from other pundits that the Browns think he's a first round draft pick, from the head up. But ultimately, like when you see Shador play the way he did, with the way that he led the team with his own actions, so he didn't get frustrated. There was a lot of 3-and-outs to start with, but he just settled in and he got it done. And that means he's a gamer. Not everything has to be about X's and O's, because I mean, I watched Patrick Mahomes. You can't tell me on some of those plays that every single play is drawn up. Like, I get that he reads and he does a good job, but he also improvises, makes some stuff up and improvises. And that's what Shador did. And that's what really sold me on him when I saw him play.
You listen to some of the national media people, some of the people that, broke down his film, for the pre-draft process and stuff, former players. And the rhetoric with Shador is the kid can just play. He just has natural football instincts. And that's what you're talking about, Kenny. That's what you need on the field. I mean, it's great that Dillon Gabriel can go in and dissect a whiteboard and spit it right back to you and tell you everything that's going on. But when it doesn't translate to the field, I said this last week, that's the issue. You got to be able to do it on the field. The classroom stuff doesn't mean squat. It means you're a damn good coach if you can't do it on the field.
Well, this is why everybody hates analytics and they love John Dorsey, right? John Dorsey is a Shador pick, right? The analytics pick is Dillon Gabriel, right? Yeah. And people don't like that because it's not like that gut football. It's not that hard-nosed football. And that's the difference between the two. And that's where we really need to see something from Dillon Gabriel to say, hey, maybe we were wrong. And we haven't seen it yet, so hopefully he can play, but I don't think he is.
You don't think he is playing?
So hear me out on this. And I think this is interesting too. I don't think if he doesn't play, zero consequences. Like he might slide down maybe, like let's say
he'll still get 13 reps.
Worst case, like maybe slide down the depth chart. But like as far as like losing a roster spot, anything like that, I don't think any of that's of consequence heading in tomorrow. And I'm not a Dillon Gabriel guy. I'm just saying, like, it's obvious what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's what I hate is when you're trying to force something on us that we can clearly see, or at least the people that are at practice can clearly see isn't working, but you're just going to keep barreling forward with it when there's another option that is notably better. I mean, like yesterday in practice against the Eagles, like I said, the quarterbacks all struggled yesterday. Joe Flacco was 6 of 13. Kenny Pickett only took 7-on-7 reps because the hamstring's too bad. He can't do 11s. We need to get rid of this guy. Dillon Gabriel took the most reps in practice yesterday. He took 19. He completed 6 passes out of 19 attempts. Today, he completed 1 of 5. That's been the story. I mean, I know some people die by these trackers. Some people will crucify you if you even mention the tracker because there's no context or whatever.
That's fair.
Whenever it's consistent, though, that like one dude is really struggling in every single one of these graphics, there's a common theme there.
Yeah, situationally, it doesn't matter if it's red zone or middle of the field or if it's, it still doesn't look good.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm at. We pounded the table. Hey, we want to see Shador live reps, game action. I want to see that. I'm saying the same thing for Dillon Gabriel. Let me evaluate. Let me see what we have here. We haven't been able to. At some point, we're going to. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to get eyes on this kid. But it's just like, this was an opportunity, I think, for him to kind of show out and say, hey, hold up. It's not just one big problem. You got 2 big rookie problems, and we're both really good at football. And I don't know if we're going to get that.
No, I don't know if we are either, but I'm still rooting for him. I don't want this to sound like, and I know you guys are too. I'm just saying this for everybody listening and watching. Like, when the Browns kick off on Saturday, if Dillon Gabriel is the quarterback, I'm rooting for him to complete his passes. I'm rooting for him to score touchdowns and move the ball down the field and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to see him suck. That's what I've heard. That's what the reports have been. So that's where my expectations lie. Now, if he comes out and balls out, I'll be like, damn, okay, we got something here. The Browns aren't totally stupid.
Yeah, no, agreed. I totally agree.
Because they're still a little stupid, not totally.
Well, we got 4 quarterbacks, man. Like
we got
5, maybe 6. Six. Yeah. I forgot about the shy guy.
7.
We got 6 and most of them are hurt.
Yeah, right. Sign one tomorrow.
Oh, man. Okay, so like I said, Gabriel, 1 of 5 today. The one touchdown, I don't know if anybody saw it online. They had the video clip out there. Really nice downfield completion, touchdown pass to Harold Fannin, who also dropped a pass. So can you guys believe that Browns players are dealing with drops? I mean, that's hard to believe, isn't it? Deontay Johnson, we'll talk about him, had several drop passes the last couple days. Harold Fannin apparently dropped a touchdown from Joe Flacco that bounced right off his chest in the end zone. The offense has been struggling. And, with Deontay Johnson, he's had drops issues his entire career. Like, that's been the big knock on him. And it's still here. Like, it's still persisting. It's still an issue. And I've literally heard nothing about Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I saw one completion in the middle. Who knows?
I don't know. I hear nothing about him. I'm hearing stuff about Jamari Thrash. You hear and see things all the time about Gage Larvadane. Jerry Jeudy is a beast. Like I think Jerry Jeudy is going to. I think the ascension is here. I really do. I don't think last year was a fluke. I don't think last year was a one-hit wonder type of deal, and he's just that was the plateau, and he's gonna whatever. I think he's going to be really freaking good this year.
He's undressing people. You know what I actually liked watching last game is I liked Larvadane, I liked Floria, and I liked Caden Davis. And those guys looked fantastic to me. Like they were given a basic game plan. And those guys executed and they played for Shador, whether Shador, it made them play or they understood or whatever it was. But those guys balled out last week against, competition that was supposedly better than them. And I hope one of them gets on the team because they look better than our third and fourth string at this point. They catch more. Their routes are crisper. They're creating separation. Now they're playing against lesser competition. I get it, but at least they're doing it at that level. Let's see if they can do it to the next one, or maybe they'll just be the next Austin Watkins and they just can't move past that.
I always worry about that with preseason stuff because I've seen guys like where they look undeniably best player on the field and then they're washing cars in that key. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Austin Watkins is one that immediately, I don't know if it's just recency bias, but the dude pulled out in the preseason and they cut him as quick as they could. As soon as the games were over, he was gone. Am I nervous about our wide receiver room? Yeah, I've been pretty nervous pretty much since the draft, since we really didn't address it, Were we hoping? Obviously, Jerry Jeudy. I have a feeling that's a locked up. That's going to be nice. Him and Flacco are going to be very, very solid. I think he's going to have some crazy, crazy big games as far as stat games. I think like that one with Amari, that could be
something coming.
Yeah, that could be one. And then as far as Cedric Tillman and Deontay Johnson, I same thing. Didn't hear anything about Cedric Tillman this week. At least it's not, hey, he's hurt. He's not playing. At least he's staying healthy. And then Deontay Johnson's just, like you said, he's always had drop issues. It's just, you would hope that we could kind of clean that up and move forward. But I think Deontay Johnson's still a more viable target than some of the guys that we're talking about, and as far as deep roster guys.
Do you think it's just that he's just not a rise to the occasion type guy? Like Deontay Johnson had great games against lesser competition, whether he's with the Steelers. I follow the Browns. I don't follow the Steelers. I don't follow Baltimore. I don't follow Houston. So, I've saw him have great games, but who did he have them against? Did, Jimmy off the street, quarterback play for a game? He had some big games and I don't know. He seems to never rise to the occasion. He's got to make this team. And it just seems like a whole helm effort on his part.
I'll say this. Going back, even last year, he's an elite route runner.
This episode is brought to you by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, it's summertime. Time to get outside and take advantage of the beautiful weather and play some backyard games. Head over to badensports.com, BADEN sports.com/dogs, and check out all their summertime gear. And for 10% off your entire order, just use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. Now, if you guys love pickleball, Baden Sports has all the gear you need, including a variety of paddles, balls, and complete pickleball sets with a pack and go carry case so you can play in the backyard or take it on vacation to play with the entire family. Baden Sports also has volleyball and badminton sets, croquet, horseshoes, bocce, and even Vikings chess. And no summer break is complete without some good old-fashioned wiffle ball. Plus, Baden has all kinds of different basketballs with special outer layers that are designed specifically for whatever surface you'll be playing on. So don't waste 1 second this summer. Head to badensports.com/dogs to get the backyard outdoor gaming gear that your family needs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's badensports.com/dogs.
His route.
Oh, breaking news, guys. I'm sorry.
Boy.
This is the perfect segment to put this in.
Oh, God.
The Browns are signing Isaiah Bond.
Whoa. Bro, are you serious?
Yes.
Whoa.
The Browns are signing Isaiah Bond.
I mean, I just got texted by a buddy. I'm on sleep mode, so nobody bothers me.
Oh, boy.
I know Justin was like, I don't really want him. I'm like, give me some talent because this wide receiver room sucks. We got him. This will be interesting. Damn.
I want to see that this isn't fake.
No, it's real. Mary Kay Cabot's got it on here.
Okay.
The football aspect of it is like huge addition. Huge talent addition to the roster. The not great part of this is I'm going to have to walk out of this man cave and my wife's going to be like, did you see that we just signed that guy? And yeah. So that's part of it, man.
It is, but
and it's all allegations, I know we're doing this again.
And this is different than Deshaun Watson in the money aspect, because I'm sure the contract is something that the Browns can easily jump out of if something else comes up or he just sucks. Like, we can't do that with Deshaun Watson. I mean, and we had both of those. More things came up and he sucked, and we still can't get away from it. But
man, I just pulled up what his strengths, like vertical.
Okay.
His strengths. Vertical. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Read this stuff because I gotta do a list about the football.
About that either.
Yeah. I'll talk about the football end of it and I'll research the other stuff later. But vertical speed, explosive, ability to stretch defensive, agility, footwork, like off the charts. He's got huge yak ability, so he turns short targets into big gains, which is ultimately what Tommy Rees is looking for. Positional flexibility, so he can work inside and out, which means his route tree is he probably can do it all. He's a clutch performer, playmaker with highlight-worthy catching ability, and his athletic foundation is not only football, but track and field as well. So, I mean, track speed's always good. We did see it with Schwartz, but I mean, this guy's got a little bit more juice and a larger pedigree for sure. But bottom line is this guy's got rare explosive threat with proven separation after the catch, juice, and adaptability and alignment. His instincts and his route manipulation are very high ceiling, and if paired with the right system like Tommy Rees's, ideally one that emphasizes timing, spacing, and creativity, he can go a long way. So, no wonder they signed him.
I mean, like Justin said, in the pre-draft process, before the allegations and stuff came out, like first round talent. Like, this guy could have gone in the first round. And
first round talent, yeah.
So you got your second best receiver, but
it's coming with some baggage. But I mean, the kid is talented. Kid is super, super talented. If you watch his film, and I'm pretty sure he ran a 4.4.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that 40 time, like has wheels. He's good. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and
a huge addition. It's just
the fact that this whole thing came out that he was the case was being no billed and all that stuff, and then immediately after says that he is signing with the Browns means they've been in contact with him. They've had this lined up, I think, for a while. Like, hey, this stuff goes away, you're coming here, and I think, I mean, obviously, because there was hardly any time lapse here, and he's a Cleveland Brown, so this will be interesting. We got, man, the storylines just. never stop for the Browns.
My phone is buzzing.
Yes.
We're buzzing.
Yeah. Should have done this one live, but
That's okay.
Yeah.
okay. Well, anything else for Saturday? I mean, obviously, I don't think he's going to play yet or anything like that. They got to get him in and get him up to speed and all that stuff. But, whether it's, I mean, I guess
they can run some fly routes.
I do expect, like we said, Dylan Gabriel will start again. I still have not seen anything confirming or not that he's going to play, but I would expect he practiced the last 2 days and was okay. So he should be out there. We need him out there. And I do think we see any more of Dylan Sampson now that we've got the Quinshon Judkins news. Are they going to be a little more, comfortable putting him out there more than they did last week?
I think because it's the second preseason game, I think just all the back end of the roster is going to play because all the starters, second string, played against each other in this two days of scrimmage. I think we're going to see Amani Marshall, and I just think we're going to see some downhill running between him and Williams. And that seemed to really work well because when he came in the game, he was getting about 2 yards a carry. They got 3 yards a carry. Then he got 4 yards a carry, and he just seemed to really be a battering ram. So between him and the bottom three running backs, I don't think they're going to do much other than like run over everybody in this game. And I think it's going to be like a 21-20 game, which I think they've played each other twice in the last 2 years, and it's been 21-20. So might as well chalk that one up again. Some team will win.
Has either side said if they're going to play any starters? Like,
I know so.
Cleveland said that Flacco's out. I'm guessing most of our starters aren't playing, but I didn't hear what Philly was.
It'll be
I don't think anything. I don't think any starters will play.
I don't think so either, but it'll just be interesting to see what they do if Dylan Gabriel starts. Just since he's been running with the ones, if they get him out there for a series or something. But I don't think they will.
I mean, I just want to see more of last week too. Like last week, I feel like the defensive line controlled the game, and even into late in the game, like the third string defensive line, they still looked really good. And the offense was kind of slow but steady. Special teams super optimistic. I can't even say it. Opportunistic because they got the fumble and they had some big gains, right? But they were very aggressive, but I thought they were aggressive across all the lines. So if they maintain the physicality, if they maintain the execution, even with the vanilla offense, I think they'll do all right.
Yeah. The big thing for me, let's keep limiting these pre-snap penalties, the stupid mistakes, especially in those first three quarters. The fourth quarter is a little different story just because those are definitely your tail end of the roster guys. They ain't going to be around. But the guys who are going to be here, let's be disciplined. Let's not be stupid. And I want to see that be buttoned up again. That was refreshing last week to not have too many of those pre-snappers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And no injuries.
And no injuries. That would be lovely. We got enough of those just by practicing and warming up, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, this Isaiah Bond news just kind of threw, like, everybody's like, we're all like, okay, I got to check this, got to look at that.
I saw you look over at your screen and I was like, bro, I'm picking him up also off of waivers, but I didn't want to say that to you.
Oh, no, my phone is on I'm using it as my camera, so you got him, baby.
Yeah, wait till after the show, bro.
Oh, man. All right, cool stuff. Anything else before we wrap it up, guys?
No.
Browns.
Yeah, go Browns, man. Let's we're meeting for our chapter viewing party this Saturday, and I'm pumped to hang out with some Browns backers and just have a good time and talk about what might be with all the things that changed up today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep, it's going to be fun. So if you guys want to watch the game kind of along with us on Saturday, join the Dawgs.com. Again, it's not just for fantasy football. You get to sync up the private Discord there and get in to the conversation with everybody in the dog pack, 24/7 Browns talk, really just anything. We're in there all the time talking just all kinds of good stuff. It's a lot of fun, but during the games especially, that crew in there is a ton of fun to watch the game with, to just vent your frustrations, share your joys and all that kind of stuff. So jointhedawgs.com is where you want to be. Ken, you look like you had something to say.
Oh, no. I you know what I was wondering is who's the university that sponsors you guys?
Oh, Southern New Hampshire University.
Yeah, I was wondering if they got a law degree that maybe I could take.
I'm sure they do.
Help the Browns out.
They've got like over 200 degrees. A little ad roll here. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's tough. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I'm going for some law degree or something. Maybe just a diploma just to figure stuff out.
Yeah, I know. We're going to need it as long as Andrew Barry's here.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow.
He's taking the discount on a lot of players. We didn't really get much of a discount on Deshaun Watson, but for everybody else, it seems to be. But all right, that's everything for tonight, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Come hang out with us during the game on Saturday. It's going to be a ton of fun. Hopefully Dylan Gabriel gets the start so we can evaluate him and see what he's got to bring to the table. And we'll be with you guys on the recap show after the game next week. Till we see you guys on that one. Let's go, Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by Butcher Box for Pets. Browns fans, we love our fellow dogs, our Dog Pack members, and the Dog Pound faithful, but let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. Your furry friends aren't just pets, they're part of the family. But the question is, what are you actually feeding them? Head to butcherbox4pets.com/products to see all the options for your dogs, including fresh and dry foods, treats, meal toppers, and even toys for your dog. If you're not sure what your dog will like best, try the Premium Nutrition Adult Starter Pack, and they even have a vacation bundle to take care of your four-legged friends while you're on vacation this summer. And right now you can get 20% off your order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. At ButcherBox, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain zero artificial flavors or preservatives. You get protein-packed formula with over 50% of the recipe comprised of third-party certified humane ButcherBox meat, plus functional ingredients like pre- and postbiotics to support your dog's vitality and digestion. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line is your dogs are getting the nutrition and the value they need, and honestly, that they deserve. I know our home wouldn't be the same without Odie, our 100-pound golden retriever who thinks he's a 10-pound lap dog. He is not, but it gives us peace of mind knowing that we're giving him quality food instead of just that factory processed garbage from the store. And speaking of the store, no need to go. ButcherBox for Pets delivers their high-quality food right to your door. So head to butcherboxforpets.com/products and use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 20% off your order. It's time for us dogs to give our dogs the nutrition they deserve.